Benbenek, we are honored to welcome you to our Grade 8 promotion ceremony. To begin our celebration, we welcome Grade 8 student Hannah Borzamato to sing the national anthem, followed by, we invite the newly elected Vice President of the class of 2029, Bowden Mick, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed, but at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Today, we proudly celebrate the 336 students before you as they close the chapter on their middle school years and prepare to embark on the exciting journey ahead in high school. The class of 2029 is deeply grateful to have you here, family, teachers, district administrators, and friends, to share in this meaningful milestone. We invite you to be fully present. Soak in these moments. They may feel small now, but time moves quickly. Before you know it, this same group will walk across the high school graduation stage, and you can even mark your calendars June 1st, 2029. An important note, HCAM is filming today's ceremony, so you can enjoy and be fully present. Today is a moment to be proud. Students, we hope you have taken the time over this last week to celebrate your growth, your friendships, and all that you've accomplished during your time at HMS. You've come a long way since stepping through the middle school doors 3 years ago. Congratulations. Now, please welcome Grade 8 student Sana Kandasamy to share her reflections on middle school, followed by a performance by our Grade 8 strings musicians.
The final sentence of any narrative leaves a feeling behind. You know, the one after watching a book or movie with the last line so powerful that it has you thinking to yourself, no way that just happened. That's the weight of another ending seeping in, and moments like those can arrive before you even have the chance to truly feel them. And today we stand inside that same pause. From the first step we took into this school, we've been closing lines of this chapter every single second of the 180 days that have led us to this very moment. And the most surprising part is that it wasn't until we noticed the tiniest parts and how big they ended up being in the long run. So today, let's turn around and celebrate every tiny part of the big view. I'm talking about the laughs in between the bells, taking a new route to a bathroom since the one you'd normally go to was closed again, the latest tea and the wildest trends, or another fire alarm ringing randomly during F block, or the random poster projects that would be assigned during science class that we swore we'd finish during Hiller just as the due date was around the corner. In summary, I'm just talking about all the little ups and downs we swore we'd forget. Because in the end, what we should be celebrating isn't just what we've achieved, it's what we lived through, laughed through, and even learned from. And of course, we didn't make it here alone. A big shout out goes to everyone who's made the past 3 years possible. I'm talking about our academic teachers to our RA teachers, to all the staff member, and to every single parent here today. Whether they reminded us how to graph a new function, or taught us the crucial parts of an essay, or reminded us to quiet down, they did their part, showing up every day with patience and consistency that led us to this moment. When we leave this property today, you won't have to dread another do now in science class, but you also won't be able to goof off with that one civics class next time there's a sub. You won't have to take the same math exam, looking up at the clock every few minutes to see how much time you have remaining. And you certainly won't be able to flip through the pages of To Kill a Mockingbird, hunting for the right quote for your essay. Speaking of To Kill a Mockingbird, I think I forgot to give this back a bunch of months ago. Sorry about that, Mrs. Hebert. But in some way, that feels almost fitting, because our time here has also been borrowed and it's even been transformed. There were days that felt too long and days that felt too short. Somewhere in the middle, we grew up without even realizing it. A quiet yet significant transformation that happens when you're just too busy living to even realize you're changing. And that kind of growth, that's the growth that stays with you for life. Walking in here as 11-year-olds and now exiting as 14-year-olds has been more than just 3 years on autopilot. A whole chapter has come to an end. We blinked once, and now it's gone. You might want to hold on to it and cherish it for even one more minute, like I did with this book, except it wasn't so much a minute. But not every ending is final, because now, it's only time to hand the book back and flip the page, because there is so much ahead of us in our stories. But now we reach the final sentences of this chapter. Congratulations, class of 2029. Your middle school experience has now come to an end. See you all in the next book.
And finally, we present to you the class of 2029. We kindly ask that you hold your applause until all the names in each homeroom have been read. We will begin with the orange team and Mrs. Oles.
Good morning. You know, I often hear sentences that begin with these three words, kids these days. So often when those three words are spoken, the sentence ends with like a negative sentiment. So this morning, I'd like to tell you a little bit about what I've seen in my Orange Team students these past 180 days. Kids these days are inquisitive. On the way home from Canopy Lake, I had an entire conversation with a student asking me about the many languages spoken in the world and how they evolved. Last week, a student asked me which landmark Supreme Court case I thought had the biggest impact on history. Another wanted to know which of the Federalist Papers was the most well-known in history. These inquisitive kids these days are going to keep me on my toes. Kids these days are also kind. Last week at lunch duty, I saw a student walk up to another student who was having trouble finding a seat and invited them to sit at their table. Kids these days are responsible. This year, I had one of the most trustworthy homerooms of my career. They looked out for each other, helped with attendance, wrote the schedule on the board, and took ownership of the fact that the classroom was our space, not just my space. Kids these days manage their schoolwork and extracurricular activities. Kids these days volunteer in their local community. They are certainly more globally aware than my generation was. They are passionate about growing up and making the world a better place. So the next time I hear my uncle, who survived 1 year of teaching in 1975, begin a sentence with kids these days, I'll remind him of these things. Because as someone who keeps coming back to spend over 30 hours a week with kids these days, I think they are pretty awesome, and our future is in good hands with them taking the lead. So if I could ask my homeroom to please stand when you hear your name. Julia Baker, Murphy Chatton-Garrett, Sean Cole, Aoife Kanairi, Addie Epley, Erin Finnegan, Arnav Gandhi, Grace Getchell, Ellie Harris, Allison Lee, Finn McCann, Devin McHugh, Lila Medeiros, Catherine Medich, Jack Monopoly, Gabe Nevis, Prisha Panchamia, Ayan Raj, Cooper Varecchia, Reese Walker, and Aurora Kessner. Mrs. O'Connell couldn't be here today, but she sent the following note. To my Orange team students, I'm sorry I can't be with you today to celebrate this important milestone in your education. I look back fondly on our time together this year and the connections we made. Some of my favorite memories were making a mess with oobleck and elephant's toothpaste and getting to see your excellent artistic skills during our fossil identification lab. I'm also very proud of how my students continue to work hard in my absence to keep learning science. However, I am most grateful for the kindness and empathy shown by so many of my students when I announced my medical leave. I was truly touched by the number of students who reached out with concern and well wishes. The world needs more empathy and kindness, and you all have given me hope for the future. Thank you, dear students, for a great year, and I wish you all the best as you transition to high school. With pride and gratitude, signed Mrs. O'Connell. And Mrs. O'Connell's homeroom, please stand when you hear your name. Kevin Behrens, Maria Clara Berg, Finn Clancy, Bryn Eagley, Raymond Geraldo, Sherwin Hu, Sunaina Kakumani, Piyush Kashyap, Sriram Kondavetti, Galen Lampert, Amir Mansour, Mason McAvoy, Parnika Rai, Mariana Rodriguez, Adriana Shelton, Elia Silva, Owen Smith, Nitya Sunku, Michael Tai, Sammy Vengala, Jane Welsh, and that is Mrs. O'Connell's homeroom.
My name is Mrs. Masha. I teach 8th grade math. In 2013, Robbie Novak and his brother-in-law created the character Kid President. For years, Kid President used the internet to spread words of motivation, positivity, and kindness. Their videos garnered millions of views. His messages are timeless, and so I leave you with this. Sure, there's bad stuff in the world, but there's also you. You can be anything that you want today. So be bold, be kind, be awesome, repeat. It's like shampoo, but with your life. My homeroom, please stand as I say your name. Jaden Buffard, Ava Bullock, Ryan Flannery, Nora Gronemeyer, Barrett Yoakum, Harish Krishnasamy, Sage Magnuson, Arjun Mehta, Olivia Memelar, Aaron Mulvaney, Swara Potkar, Nicholas Principe, Charlotte Reed, Jeremiah Rogers, Amelia Rosado, Spencer Schmidt, Amelia Smith, Phoebe Snyder, Ruby Ween, and Danny Whalen.
I have never been the best at saying goodbye at the end of a school year. It always felt really hard to find a way to truly capture the entirety of the year and everything that has happened in each of my classes in just one short message. So while this goodbye will certainly not be perfect, I do want you all to know that I feel very lucky to have had the opportunity to teach all of you this year. As a group, your creativity, sense of humor, and kindness have continually impressed me throughout the school year. You have all grown so much since that first day of school back in August, and I can say with complete sincerity that I will truly miss teaching all of you next year. I'm so proud of each and every one of you for all that you've accomplished, and I know without a doubt that you all have an incredibly bright future ahead of you next year at Hopkinton High School or wherever you end up. All right, so my homeroom, same thing. When you hear your name, please stand up. Matthias Azofefa, Arav Bola, Ryan Bowker, Amelia Cotter, Emma Gambino, Marlo Godritis, Addie Ganem, Avi Kulkarni, Jeremiah Lewis, Aaron Lutz, Lexi Martin, Theo Malosha, Anna Minogue, Emily Owen, Cole Pacheco, Robbie Scott, Nina Staffieri, Maggie Steen, Hayden Volukovic, JT Wareham, and Ben Yang.
Buenos dias. My name is Senora Brennan. I'm one of the Spanish teachers at HMS this year. Learning another language is all about connecting with other people. That's exactly what we did this year. You connected with people you knew and didn't know. As I asked my students recently about their favorite memories from our time together, they said, Movemos martes, silent speedball, doing push-ups after MCAS, the energy and positivity in class, and most importantly, how everyone got along and made unexpected friends. Thank you all for the great memories this year, and congratulations. Here is my homeroom this year. Dylan Araya, Jake Duran, Annalise Hoffmaster, Anna Jeparize, Brysum Yokum, Saket Kashyap, Achal Kambe, Karthik Lakshmanan, Theo Langlois, Jack Spector, Mia Odirna, Reagan Osach, Ryan Oza, Darshi Patel, Leah Potapov, Joshua Principe, William Refrigeri, Arav Singh, Zakorik Sun, Anya Viaz, and Lumen Zhang. Congratulations.
Good morning. My name is Monica McLean, and I have the pleasure of teaching advanced algebra and Math 8 to students across all teams this year. To my students, I'm incredibly proud of how hard you've worked this year. You've risen to the challenges presented throughout the year. You've persevered through some complex math concepts and supported each other along the way. Your dedication and teamwork have led to great accomplishments and some wonderful memories. To my homeroom, Hiller blocks were always an adventure where sometimes my biggest challenge was keeping you in the classroom. And yet, you made it through 8 days of MCAS testing with patience, focus, and a surprising amount of quiet. Your resilience and effort truly stood out, and I'm proud of the way you pushed through it all. As you move on to high school and beyond, I hope you continue to strive, believe in yourselves, and stay curious. You're capable of amazing things. I will now acknowledge my homeroom: James Allen, Joe Steve Anto, Sakshi Awasti, Tanner Barberi, Alana Cameron, Nina Clement, Chase Corrigan, Sean DaCosta, Frank Gallagher, Suchis Janapati, Aaron Lee, Hari Lingam, Suchesa Malati, Sankalp Naganeni, Luke Patterson, Benny Robledo, Jillian Sperry, Elin Stomberg, Emily Sullivan, and Chloe Wiedemann.
Buenos días a todos. I am Margarita Porzio, the other 8th grade Spanish teacher. Whenever someone asks me what I do, their reaction to I'm a teacher is usually, oh wow, how nice. When they ask what grade I teach and I reply with 8th grade, I usually get looks of disbelief along with many blessings. But I really wouldn't want it any other way. Middle school is all about learning and growing, and every year I stop and reflect on how the students have grown. But I also look back to see what they have taught me. This year, more than ever, my students have taught me about growth. And no, I don't mean the vertical kind, because you're all taller than me. They have shown me how an 8th grader can go from starting the year with so many questions and needs to really locking in, putting in the effort, making the tough decisions, and becoming young people ready to take on both the academics and social aspect of high school. Class of 2029, you are ready for this next step, and I can't wait to see how you continue to grow as a person, but also what you can continue to teach the adults in your life. I present to you my homeroom this year: Vanya Paradwaj, Smaran Chimalakanda, Nihal Chakurti, Blake Churchill, Caden D'Angelo, Alana Farinini, Max Frasca, Sana Kandasamy, Dada Kalari, Charlotte Kincaid, Adam Malik, Garv Masurker, Idris Najib, Anna Power, Dithya Ratour, Caden Ruggles, Jayanth Solapuram, Devin Streak, Callie Sullivan, Jack Turnbull, Ishan Urs, and Emma Zhang. Buena suerte, chicos.
Good morning. My transition this year back to the classroom certainly was made much easier by this year's 8th grade class. Throughout the year, I witnessed incredible academic growth, but most importantly, I also witnessed incredible kindness and empathy. I will always remember the class of 2029, especially homeroom 209, who made me smile and laughed often. Thank you, and I certainly will miss and remember you all. Congratulations. And now I present to you my homeroom. Please, when you hear your name, stand up. Stella Abel, Esteban Carrion Amadori, Leah Bogosian, Mariana Mamoy Boschetti, Andrew Boucher, Benjamin Brooks, Midushi Chauhan, Sean Coido, Connor Curran, Caitlin DuPont, Annabella Fonseca, Haley Fryer, Navya Gupta, Leah Hansen, Sydney Iarici, Abhi Ranjith Ratna Kumar, Evan Marzi, Ian Pereiras, Kyle Remsen, Noah Rush, Ashini Sayani. Congratulations.
Good morning, everyone. I always find it very difficult to try to think about what to say in this situation. I found myself over the weekend asking myself, what would my students do if they were in this situation? And the solution quickly became apparent, and that was to have AI write my speech. But I think ChatGPT was broken yesterday because I asked about just writing a speech about 8th graders, for 8th graders, and it kept kicking back code words like chicken jockey and talking about people who are 6'7". I don't know what height had to do with anything, so I decided it might be better to just speak from the heart, and it's much easier to speak from the heart with this group that I had this year. They were a fantastic group. The entire team was absolutely wonderful to work with, but my homeroom, I think, was something special. A bunch of different personalities that somehow gelled, and like many of the other teachers have said here, they made me smile, they made me laugh, and it's going to be sad to see them go. And I'd like to introduce them to you right now, if I may. So we're going to start with Jaswant Ambati, Anjali Arputharaj, Hannah Borzamato, Colin Breen, Preston Cabana, Josh Carpenter, Michael Cobb, Callan Fitzgibbon, Gabe Grant, Zvara Kandakar, Ryan Capri, David Lewandowski, Kelsey McPherson, Ella Moorhead, Sean Morrissey, Gabriela Noguera, Ansh Parekh, Sahaj Pagula, Grayson Reed, Avery Robillard, Jaya Sakari, and Kiana Silva. Thank you, guys.
Good morning. I gotta say, I really got lucky with this group of kids this year. We persevered, we played silent speedball. They saw hundreds of pictures of my dog Remy and didn't get tired of it to my face. We wrote letters back and forth with the 3rd graders in my wife's class, and they've really grown a lot this year. So it's with immense pride that I send this group off to high school, and I can tell you that they're definitely ready. So we have Sophia Bukadum, Lily Clark, Alex Cohen, Emily Coido, Maddie Epley, Rowan Hauk, Kira Kennedy, Gavin Levy, James Manning, Samuel McFall, Daria Mehta, Sonisha Rajesh, Rian Sebastian, Natalie Smith, Grady St. Pierre, Tim Thaudiel, Ayla Tenorello, Poppy Trendle, and Matthew Zhang.
Good morning, all. My name is Matt O'Connell. I'm one of the 8th grade science teachers, and I have the privilege of being the team leader for the green team, who was just wonderful this year, as you'll hear, I'm sure, from all of our green team teachers. I can say without reservation that I had a wonderful homeroom this year. There was plenty of fun, plenty of silliness, tiny bit of drool on my tables after MCAS. We did have 19,000 of them. But mostly really what I remember is when I gave them time and they had the opportunity to work, whether it was a Hiller block or in that time right before school, they're such incredibly hard workers. And that is going to serve all of you incredibly well next year. Best of luck to you at the high school. I will now introduce my homeroom. Please stand when you hear your name. Addie Allard, Luke Bateman, Zoe Shui, Cordelia Dahlmeyer, Lila Donahue, Bashar Ferez, Emily Flynn, Sudiksha Kuntaka, David Jacob, Brendan Jean, Atulith Kunapala, Shrujan Kondradi, Andrew Kopczynski, Arun Krishnamurthy, Ayan Krishnamurthy, Charlotte Lawyer, Brooke Merrill, Tanay Palkar, Zara Shah, Pranil Srimant, Samanch Srivastava, Emma Vaca, and Caleb Weil Megason.
Good morning, everyone. The day is finally here. It's been a long year, full of early mornings, Hiller blocks, and MCAS testing, but we finally made it. I want to congratulate an amazing group of students who always came in cheerful, were kind, and worked hard to get to where they are. For the future, continue to be the kind individuals that you are, continue working hard, but don't wait till homeroom to finish your homework. But seriously, go out, be the great citizens that I know that you are, go conquer high school, and thank you for a great year. Homeroom 208, please stand when you hear your name. Evelyn Ashley, Caitlin Ballas, Shrestha Beladiga, Amelie Benora, Ryan Kakase, Rhea Cassidy, Swena Deshpande, Karen Fu, Ryan Hurley, Caitlin Leary, Natalie Lozano, Liam McLennan, Trevor McDonald, Arav Nadkarni, Olivia Pontramoli, Charlie Powers, Patrick Riley, Shrishti Thakalapali, Kirsten Tucker, Addie Ween, Stephanie Yo, Rocco Urowitz, and not with us today is Jonathan Yang. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Casey Krause, and I'm the 8th grade French teacher. So first to my homeroom, it has been a really great year altogether. They are so good that sometimes I have to remind them that they can actually talk because they're so quiet and dedicated to their work. So thank you for making it a great homeroom. And to my French students, I taught students all across all 3 teams, and this year was definitely really special. I got asked the craziest questions by some of my students. I had the best laughs, and we really just bonded together as classes, and I just absolutely loved this year. So thank you to all of you for making it wonderful. And I'd like to honor my homeroom. Joshua Beavis, Addison Carter, Isabel Dunn, Nina Hartman, Vihan Hedge, Anushka Iyer, Sai Jayaprakash, Liam Larkin, Bowden Mick, Colton O'Donnell, Aryan Paggi, Sana Praveen, Peter Remillard, Anjali Kanan, Brecken Sawyer, Maxwell Shaw, Ryan Sieber, Pranay Sindwani, Rachel Townsley, Avipsa Verma, Emma Wiley, and Charlie Yoon.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Curris. I'm one of the 8th grade math teachers. So Albert Einstein once said, education is not the learning of facts, but training your mind to think. Teaching math, I have so many things to teach these students, but seeing everyone grow as learners is what makes me the most proud. I'm so happy to see everybody and the success that they've had and sending them to high school after being part of this journey. And I'm about to read my homeroom, and I thank them for dealing with my cheerfulness in the morning and loud voice. So please stand when I say your name. Jackson Balster, Annalise Berry, Zoya Chaudhry, Laksha Chauhan, Eloise Chuning, Marie Donahue, Vanshika Kukanor, Sophie LaFrance, Seki Luo, Pulik Mondovia, Akshaya Mulliner, Marissa McNally, Ireland Restigini, Megha Shilvant, Arav Singh, Ayush Srihari, Stephen Young Sun, Ankith Suram, Timothy Wan, and last but not least, Andrew Zhang.
I just got really nervous. I'm Becky Abate. I am one of the 8th grade English teachers, and I think about this year and what I can say, and I can say that we laughed, we cried, some people cried. I drove them crazy. They drove me crazy sometimes, but all in all, it was a really good year. We read books, we wrote essays, we learned about comma splices and semicolons, and through To Kill a Mockingbird and all of the books we read this year, we learned about the value of empathy and respect and integrity. And though I may not remember all of their names if I see them next year in the fall, I will always remember the memories that we made together. It was a great year. So I am going to call my homeroom. Please stand up. Grant Kazanjan, Chase Quebec, Nazir Munoz, Caden O'Donnell, Prayag Karthik, Late Gesib, Yajat Chowdhury, Morgan Capetta, Kira McLennan, Rhea Aditham, Yuna Hasigawa, Sydney Turner, Genevieve Gangle, Emma Tian, Jacob Anderson, Kamora Kroon, Robbie Zuckerman, Owen Donovan, RJ Jaffrey, Shannon Sullivan, and not least but last, my favorite, she told me to say that, Caroline Murray.
I'm going to ask for one more round of applause. Students, I think you need to give, hold on. It's for the students to give all of you their applause. I'm asking the students to applaud you, their families, who have helped support them and get them through. I've lived it the middle school year. So a few logistical notes prior to closing. Students will be checking in with their homeroom teachers to receive their certificates and their yearbooks. After that, students can meet with their families and leave from there as long as parents have completed the dismissal form. It's still live on the website if you want to still fill that out. Students not heading home will head back to HMS with their homeroom teacher. So thank you, parents, family, teachers, and friends for joining us today to honor the class of 2029. We've shared many events together over the past 3 years, but none is more special than our celebration of these grade 8 students. Class of 2029, please continue to grow your strong minds and kind hearts as you move on to high school, and know that we are wishing you much happiness and success on your journey. Your future is bright, and we are excited to see where your path will lead. Thank you for coming this morning. Have a great summer.